Good morning, good morning. Welcome to our Talks with Anthony. Today we're going to have a insightful conversation. For those that are new to the channel, we make mental health conversation content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development in addition to your well-being, right? But in today's conversation, we're going to be talking about learning to trust yourself again, right? So if you're feels as if you can't trust yourself anymore, right? It doesn't mean that you're broken. It means that something taught you to doubt your voice, right? So the inner you is just, you don't feel like you can trust yourself. Something about hearing your voice, you doubt yourself. You don't believe it. You just, you don't take yourself serious, right? So I really want us to understand that, right? So let's normalize and get some understanding, right? So losing your self-trust often comes from the self-past mistakes, right? So pressure, in addition to relying heavily on others or their opinions, right? I also want to take into consideration too, your family dynamic, People pleasing, always being the person to do something, right? Always, just, yeah, your dynamic, right? So everybody's going to be different, but I really want us to understand, right, is look at your dynamic, look at your situation, and really try to draw some understanding, right? So many people also second guess themselves after getting something wrong or doing something wrong, right? So doubting can feel like it's protection or a way to avoid repeating that pain, right? So look at those internal voices, looking at what's really going on and how we self-talk to ourselves, right? So moving forward in regards to some psychoeducation to get some more understanding is, you're right, first key point off rip is going to be self-trust is built through evidence, right? So small moments of self-promise to oneself, right? So when you follow through on your promises, you follow through on those things that you said that you're going to do, right? You're able to build that self-trust. You're able to, that accountability basically, right? So overthinking and constant reassurance seeking weaken that trust over time, right? So like I said, that validation that you're seeking from other people, right? The distractions, the media, and really just letting things kind of deter from your values, really what's important to you is really going to pull you down, right? So we got to understand, right? You got to understand, like, you control your life, you control your destiny, and you control, like, you're the captain of the ship, right? You have the steering wheel, right? So trust yourself, believe yourself, build yourself up. It's totally normal. Research shows as well, so that you could, that by talking to yourself, right? So go into a mirror, even though it's uncomfortable, but build this rapport with yourself, this relationship with yourself. You're gonna be with yourself forever, ever. You feel me? So it's like really love yourself and build yourself up and use motivational words and positivity to help your situation up. Because as we both know, by talking about negativity, pulling ourselves down is really what's gonna pull us down. Positivity is gonna what? Pull us up, right? So apply these things to your life, right? Build yourself up, right? And on the real, I wouldn't be talking to her if I ain't doing it, right? Brushing your teeth, you feel me? Like, look at yourself, really love yourself, right? It's gonna help that you get that confidence. But let's get back into it, right? So avoiding decisions doesn't protect you, it reinforces uncertainty, right? So like I said, don't have a scarcity mindset. If you say you're gonna do something to the best of your abilities, at least try it your best. Put the effort in, right? Try to follow through, right? And this will help you build that growth, right? So self-trust grows with action, right? Not uncertainty, right? So you can be in a position where you're always, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do this, procrastination, you're a talker, right? Or you can put in action and you're getting things done, right? So let's take that into consideration. Moving forward, we talk about practical reframing, right? So how can we be able to help our mindset, right? So how we're able to, like I said, build that self-trust, right? So small things, like I said, good things take time. So, there's gonna be no answer one day, right? But let's take this, we can do things small, right? So small steps. So make decisions that, that you can actually follow through, right? You can be accountable for. Let these decisions be good enough, Not perfect, right? We're working for is improvement. We're working on, like I said, at least trying, right? We can show up, right? And then, treat mistakes as information, right? You're not a bum. You ain't, Like, come on now, like, learn. We can learn from these mistakes, right? This is proof that you can trust yourself again, right? So you fall down, you're able to get back up, right? So trust isn't about always being right. It's about that. Understanding that you're able to handle the outcome regardless of what happens, right? You trust yourself. You're here with yourself, right? When it comes to some micro action, let's be able to, like I said, apply something. Like, so when we take action, we're able to get the results, right? So when we know better, we're able to do better, right? So choose one small decision that you've been delaying, right? Why am I procrastination? Why am I holding back? Why am I not doing what I got to do, right? And then make a choice where you're able to work towards, getting there, right? So it's not about, like I said, trying to quit or shut down, but like I said, try your best to try. So follow through, even if it feels uncomfortable, right? But like I said, this is really what's going to help us get things done and grow, right? Our goal is to not stay in the same position forever, ever. Let's get out of there. Let's get uncomfortable to become comfortable, right? And we're able to have more, more confidence. And we have a mindset with that positivity to get things done and be more effective, right? So you can grow trust, bro. Like I said, showing up for yourself, being more consistent, right? Developing that discipline, right? Doing things that you don't want to do sometimes, or or you're just in procrastination, like you just don't want to do it at all, right? But by showing up for yourself, by putting in that effort, things will get done, right? So you don't need proof, you just need that practice that you're able to trust yourself by putting that effort and showing up for yourself, right? Inner dialogue as well, we gonna leave that out as well, right? Talk to yourself kindly, on the daily, right? Put up affirmations in your wall. Do what you gotta do. Write things down. Journal. Really develop this relationship. Personal development is really going to help you out, right? And it's also going to help you connect with other people, right? Do more things, be in leadership roles or whatever you envision yourself doing, right? But love lies within. The more time you spend with yourself, all these gracious things and all these gifts are going to come out of you. So I'm letting you know, right? So this is really going to help you develop some trust. If you found this video beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.